Well, howdy fancy fish. My name is Jared, and today I want to talk to you guys about Vicious by V.E. Schwab. Now, for anyone who knows me at all, you'll know that I love this book. I love it. I love it. I love this book. I love it so much that I would call this my absolute favorite novel that I've ever read. Now, I've attempted to make this review a few times, but I just never felt like I did the book justice. So here is my final attempt to get this down, and whatever happens, I'm going to have this up. So it's happening. You guys are going to know why I love this book. You're going to know about how great it is. If you don't already know, you should though. You should have read it by now. Because it's amazing. It's so good. I just want to pet it. I just want to pet it forever. Vicious is a fantasy novel by V.E. Schwab, or Victoria Schwab, as she's often known for her young adult series The Archived, or before that, The Near Witch. The story opens on our main characters, Victor Vale and Eli Carlisle, and they are deciding what they're going to do for the university thesis. Eli comes up with this idea to try to prove the existence that superheroes could be a thing, and Victor becomes jealous. So Victor attempts to hijack the project, and ultimately things happen and a rivalry starts, and the book is about that rivalry. Yes, Vicious is a superhero novel, but in a totally unique and amazing way. Neither of them are particularly good people, which is something I really like about this novel. They both do absolutely deplorable things to meet their end goals, and the great thing is Victoria nails it. It would have been so easy to mess that up, like with how dark some of this gets, it would have been easy to make us hate certain characters. But you don't! You love them! You love everyone in this book! You just want to hug them! Well, maybe not. Maybe you don't want to hug them, but you want to, like... They're good characters. We'll leave it at that. They're good characters. One of my favorite aspects about this book is that you never know how it's going to be written. This is one of my favorite parts of the book, so I don't want to spoil it, but I'll just say that it starts off in two separate timelines, the future and the past, and with that you really get to see an interesting dynamic between Victor and Eli. You get to see what they were like when they were friends, and you get to see what they were like when they're enemies. And it's just pulled off so well. Everyone is believable, and they're just so good! So good, guys! It's amazing! Because it switches back and forth between the two storylines, you are constantly flipping those pages, you want to know what happens. I have never been so gripped with a book in my life. One other interesting thing about the way it's written is that Victoria makes a very conscious effort to focus on one character, let us get into their head, let us get to know them, before kind of shifting the view of the story to somebody else's point of view. A good example of this is in the beginning of the book, you're going to spend a lot of time with Victor Vale. In the second half of the book, you'll spend a lot more time with Eli, and you get to know both their points of view. In addition to both those characters, you also have Sydney and her sister Serena, and they're awesome too. I can't say enough about how well developed these characters are. Their motivations are so real, and it's written in such a way that you can get behind each of them. And all of them have their own distinct feel and vibes, and it's wonderful. It's truly wonderful. You have to read it to really understand just how good and how well it's pulled off. I've never seen this kind of thing pulled off so well in a book before. And guys, it's so good. Calm down, Jared. Calm down. It's just a book. It's not just a book. This is Vicious by V.E. Schwab, and it's amazing. But I'm going to stop saying that and start actually doing more review stuff, so. One of the aspects I really like about the book is the way superpowers are handled and how it's decided what superpower you're going to get. Essentially, the last thing you're thinking about before death will contribute to the power you're going to receive. And it's so simple, yet it works so well, and it really... The characters get a power that really fits the essence of that character, and it works so well, and it's just... It's so good. So good, guys. I'm not going to tell you what their powers are, because I don't want to spoil anything, but it's just so good. I think my favorite scene in the entire book is a murder scene that occurs around halfway through the book. It's written so well, and it's just a scene that has stuck with me. It's a fall day. One of the characters, not going to say which one, is walking somebody else to their car, and murder happens, and it's written so good, and it's like, yes! It's like, yes! The whole book is like, yes! The pacing is great, the language is fantastic, there's so many great quotable lines from this book. Can't remember any right now, but they're in there. You could open this up and find beautifulness all over. One last thing I have to bring up is Victor's habit of blacking out lines in books to create sentences. He'll leave certain words readable so that it creates this kind of pessimistic view of the world. And it's really cool, and I love that. That is like my favorite character trait about anyone ever. And it's just so good. I've said that like 5 billion times. So good, so good, so good. All in all, I give Vicious all of the stars out of all of the stars. It is an absolutely fantastic read that I insist that every person out there reads. If you don't read this, why? Why won't you read the book? Okay, what can I do to make you want to read this book more? There's no other book that I've read that's better. Guys, read the book. Read Vicious. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below, if you want. Alright, I'm gonna leave you guys. Have fun out there. Stay fancy, as always. And I will have a new video up for you soon. Goodbye, fancy fish. Ka-cha! On another note, if you're interested, I've recently published my own book called Eating Sarah. You can find out more about that online. There is a link down below where you can buy the book if you're interested. It would mean a lot to me if you checked it out. Alright, I'll see you guys around. I feel like I say goodbye like 9 times in these videos, so we're gonna leave this one here. Adios, margaritas! Hola!